some of us often talk, and I hear my friends say this, it's a terrible thing about the scourge of drug use. It touches everyone. It doesn't matter what strata of society you come from. Well, that's true to some degree, but what's also true is that if you come from a loving, caring family who are going to support you, to put you back on track, to continue to provide support through thick and thin, your prospects of avoiding imprisonment escalate, and your prospect of getting work escalates. So the prisons are full of people in that demographic that I described: poor educational opportunity, dysfunctional families, and long-term history of drug use. So how do we address that? Well, one of the things that happened as a result of the global financial crisis, ironically, was in Portugal. In Portugal, as you know, they were a country that was on its knees. Their economic structure was collapsing, same as Spain and Italy and Greece at the time. And Portugal first off said, well, one thing we need to look at is our criminal justice system. We have got thousands and thousands of drug addicts in jail. We know what the KPIs are because they're the same as Australia. And we have to deal with drug use, which is really the common thread amongst 90% of all serious crime. We have to look at drug use and how we might deal with that. And so what Portugal did was to say, well, we're not going to spend countless millions of dollars on the prison system. We're going to decriminalise personal drug use. And what happens is that when a person gets arrested for possession of a small quantity of drug for personal use, they are given an option. They are told that you can participate in an educative program and provide proof of that. And if you don't participate, then you will go to jail. And the critics of that program in Portugal and in Europe said, what happens if you decriminalise drug use in Portugal? Portugal will become the honeypot for all drug users in Europe. They'll flock to Lisbon and the capital, and we won't be able to deal with it. And in fact, that's not happened at all. In fact, we know that at any one time, about 2% of the adult population are involved in either recreational or other drug use. And those statistics don't vary much with or without criminalisation of drug use. There isn't an escalation in drug use if there's decriminalisation. It's not been found in the statistical analysis once drug use is decriminalised. And so Portugal has now saved itself millions and millions of dollars in its justice system by diverting those people away from drug use by prison. They're successfully rehabilitating those people, by and large, more successful than if they're imprisoned. They are diverting them away from more serious crime, because once you commence, whether it's cannabis use or whether it's cocaine or whether it then escalates to more sinister drugs like heroin or crystal methamphetamine or ice, if you can divert people away at that lower level, then you are going to save yourself a lot of grief into the future.